Let's jump right into it. Lesson 250. When you reply to people at the start of a day or before you've completed any work, your replies will be weak from a place of need, and this can be subconsciously sensed. So, when you go ahead and sort of start the day by wanting that dopamine hit, wanting to open up messages, wanting to sort of reply to people and get a response, that can be sensed. It's much, much more healthy to sort of it's much, much more healthy to get work done, go through the day, focus on yourself. And once you're at a place of content and a place of not needing anything, then go through all your messages. And there's going to be an air of sort of contentness with all your messages, and people are going to sense it. Lesson 251. People grind through the thoughts of death, sort of trauma, insecurity, existential questions. Let me rephrase that. People who grind through life and they ignore sort of thoughts of death, they ignore their past trauma, they ignore their insecurities, they ignore existential questions. All of these things eventually catches up to them and will hit them like a truck. That's why people have quarter life crisis, midlife crises. It's you grinding through life, ignoring these important questions, these important feelings, and it's going to hit you hard. Whereas I'm feeling it daily. Like every day, I'm sort of trying to process, what I feel about death, the thought of my family dying, the thought of, thinking of all the things I'm insecure about, a lot of past trauma. I'm constantly feeling it every single day. And I think as a result, my life is going to be pretty sort of steady. I'm not going to sort of hit this crash that knocks me out when I sort of go through, a midlife sort of phase. Like I think I'm weaning what would then hit me as as a truck, and then sort of feeling a bit every day, asking these tough questions every day. I think that's much, much more healthy. Lesson 252. I've noticed that all the people that envy me are sort of level B, sort of B type, B class type people. Whereas people that are C's, class C type people, they don't really get affected. Like they don't feel insecure, like hanging out with me. They're just chilling. It's sort of the people in the B class that are a bit competitive, a bit sort of envious, a bit sort of, if you can do it, so can I. What makes you better than me type sort of mentality. And all the close people in my circle, all my friends are similar A class people. And I think A people are people who are just focused on themselves. They have an abundance mindset. They want others to win, and they're not trying to compete. They just focus on themselves and focus on giving value to other. So the B class people, they're the dangerous people. B plus people, they're the most dangerous. Lesson 253. Don't over-index on talking to someone that you like but doesn't like you back. This is tough because when you find someone you like, you tend to want to sort of spend time with them, talk to them, send them a lot of messages, get back to them quickly. But you should be saving that sort of energy for people that are doing that for you. Like save that energy for the people who are constantly having you top of mind. Give them your energy. Don't over index. And it's hard because emotionally you want to talk to that girl that you like. But if she's not that interested in you, you're better off saving that energy for your best friend. So yeah, lesson 254. Something I've noticed is traveling has gone from something that you do to learn, grow, have new experiences, get out of your comfort zone, put yourself in a sort of strange environment to a point where now it's just straight consumerism. People are doing it because other people are doing it. People are doing it to get that Instagram photo. People going to all these touristy places that are completely safe, completely sort of tourist friendly, and you're not putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. You're talking to these sort of locals that are sort of tour guides that are sort of like English speaking, westernized locals that work with tourists all the time. So you're not really getting to see the culture and learn what that country really is about. Um, and I think people need to be careful. And I think that's sort of why I avoid all the popular countries like Bali. I avoid countries like Japan. Um, Whereas I want to go to countries like Burma, Myanmar. I think that might be the same country. Like I went to Mongolia. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to sort of the Middle Eastern countries. I want to go to sort of Lebanon, etc. Yeah, because traveling is meant to sort of open your horizon. Like you're putting all that money to experience new things, but if you go to these touristy spots, you're going to get the same ramen in sort of the touristy spots of Japan as the ramen you can get in your own country. Um, yeah. Lesson 255. People, including me, only reach out when they're bored, lonely, sad, in pain, need enjoyment, etc. So you actually find the people that are actually most content, most busy, most driven, they don't really have time to reach out to people because they're sort of pretty happy and distracted and fulfilled. So usually what happens is when friends reach out to me, I know they're probably going through a mini dip and I'm there for them and I'm there to pick up. And then when I'm craving to reach out to friends, I'm trying to feel that boredom, feel that pain, feel that exhaustion that I'm going through and really embrace it, go through it, sort of clock it, absorb that feeling versus calling a friend and getting that dopamine hit and getting that crutch, getting that band-aid. Lesson 256. When I'm sort of lesson 256. When I'm exhausted and down, when I find out that someone I know has unfollowed me, this would trigger me to just feel very, very sad. And I'm unfairly pegging that sadness to that instance. And by doing so, it actually makes it worse. So I should, when feeling down, I should just sort of feel that downness. So, for example, right now I'm feeling pretty exhausted. I should just feel it and not attribute it to anything. But I can definitely sort of get an email of some bad news on, let's say, a contract I have sort of being cancelled, a deal I have been cancelled. That would definitely make me feel worse, but it'll probably make me feel like an extra worseness by, let's say, 10%. But I'll attribute 100% of how I'm currently feeling to that instance. So I think it's rather than trying to figure out why or where or what causes pain. Just feel and process the pain as is and don't attribute it to any issue because it's easy to blame the straw that broke the camel's back. But it's much, much harder to see everything that you put on the camel's back prior to that last straw that broke the camel's back. But it's even harder to just feel the pain that the camel is going through and 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 feel that first, process that feeling, and then you can get into the cause of that feeling. Lesson 257. I'm going to distance myself from people, guys that are thirsty and would sort of choose woman, choose pussy, choose sex over looking after their boy. People that are horny, thirsty, that can't control their emotions, that would abandon their friends for the chance of having sex that night with some random girl they've met. Big red flag. Avoid these people because that's a strong tell on their character. If they're willing to do that, they're going to be willing to backstab you for some money if you were to partner up. Lesson 258. Girls actually want a busy man, a man that's working and earning money, someone that is not 100% available. Like I have, like one of my friends, she talks about wanting her partner to work less, wanting more time with her partner. But I think the reason why she finds her partner attractive is because he is busy, he is working, he is wanting to grow, he wants to get a private jet. And I think that's the person that she is in love with. And if he were to retire, if he were to be 100% available, I think she won't, that isn't the person that she'd be in love with. Lesson 259. If your group of friends are constantly rotating, the problem might then be you. And I thought I was a problem as well. But I've realized that I've actually maintained and kept one friend from every group, every chapter of my life that I've been a part of. So I think this means I'm growing because as you grow, people that can't keep up sort of have to fall off because they can either grow with you or you have to sort of come down to them. So what happens as you keep growing, people are just gonna fall off to the wayside. So I guess it is you. You are the center of the problem, but that's a sacrifice you need to make if you want to keep growing. But I think what you would find is that you would keep one friend from every sort of phase of your life. You'll keep an old high school friend that is open-minded, respects you. He might not be keeping up with the ability to be open-minded, to want others to succeed, to be sort of not to be secure. Technically, they're sort of able to match your level. And the people that do drop to the wayside are the people that are insecure with themselves, that are not abundant mindset. Wow. Lesson 260. I have a 5% alignment with like the average person I meet, where they probably share 5% of my values and they don't have, they're missing another 95% of things that I have. If I meet a cool person, there's probably an alignment of 30%. So this is 6 times the average person. So this is quite rare. And I think having an alignment of 85%, like a overlap thing of 85%, I think that's where you sort of experience love at first sight. Now, the tricky thing is the more time you spend with a cool person, someone that, let's say, has a 30% alignment, the more you would end up liking them. And then you would sort of fall in love. But I think this type of sort of partnership, this type of relationship, it's going to end up being a marriage that requires a lot of solid work, a lot of communication, a lot of compromises, a lot of effort to stay committed to each other. I think that's what most people fall into. I think it's actually most people don't even wait for that cool person. They just marry every. So that's like people who are getting divorced is because they're just sort of getting into relationships with people that are like 5% aligned. People that are in a relationship for a long period of time and it requires a lot of work. They talk about how it's not all sunshine and rainbows. They're sort of in a relationship where there's that 30% alignment, which is quite a lot. One third of you completely matches one third of them. But I think the rare cases are the people that wait it out for that 85% alignment, that love at first sight, where things just click and you have a fairy tale type relationship. Like I feel like all the fairy tales, all the love movies are built off the very few that actually end up being with their sort of soulmate. But the tricky thing is the fact that you can fall in love with someone that has 30% alignment through just spending more time with them. You the green flags, the 30% of green flags grow bigger and they sort of outweigh the 70% of red flags of misalignments. The fact that you have someone that you like and they like you, so that's also a rare scenario. But I think love at first sight, it's an instant sort of reciprocal love. And I guess another dangerous thing is you're probably surrounded by people that are 5, 10% alignment. So they're like better than everyone else you have in your life. So that makes it even harder for you to not commit and keep waiting for that 85%. So I understand why it would be hard. But those that are really looking for a truly fulfilling life, wait it out. Don't fall in love with that person that has a 30% alignment. Keep that person as an amazing friend and keep waiting. Keep being patient for that one, that soulmate to come into your life. Lesson 261. When you're feeling down and lonely, like what does it calling a friend really do? Or what does a friend calling you do? You know, you sort of end up expending more energy? Do you want to have them tell you how amazing you are? Do you want them to just be there for you? But once that call is hung up and once that call is done, you're back all on your own. Like, how long can that feeling of love from that friend that gave you a call last? So, what I'm trying to say is that when you're feeling down and lonely, calling a friend or a friend calling you it's a temporary band-aid. The more sustainable way to actually heal from that scar, from that scratch, is to just learn how to feel that pain and push through it on your own. Feel it, process it. Because even if you had the perfect scenario of a friend being able to predict you being down, your friend calling you, they knew the exact things to say, they knew how to sort of show you love, make you feel seen, make you feel loved, make you feel amazing, make you feel confident. After that phone call, that feeling of love, it's only going to wander for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. But after that goes, you're back on your own. And you're going to be hit with the same feeling you felt prior to that call. So when you're feeling down and lonely, don't try to call a friend, but process it and face that feeling on your own. That's going to be the best way to go through it. Lesson 262. You should optimize, manifest, and push towards being a good father, being the dream father that you've always wanted. Because because by optimizing to be a good father, you're going to naturally optimize to be a good husband. That's just going to emerge from that. And then by sort of subconsciously optimizing to be a good partner, being a good husband, being a good boyfriend, that's automatically going to optimize you for being a good friend, being a good boyfriend, being a good um, sort of partner. So optimize for being a good father, and everything will follow. By optimizing to be a good father, you need to be someone that can financially take care of their family, someone that has a balanced life, someone that is a good husband, a good boyfriend, fun, someone that's constantly growing. So yeah, optimize to be a good father and everything will follow. Lesson 263. Lesson 263. I've seen people rebuild, build from scratch, new relationships, friend groups, social life over a small, short period of 6 months. Whereas what I'm building is so big that it will take the next 10 to 20 years to form. Yeah, because yeah, I don't have like a friend group. I've seen my friends split up with their partner since all their friendship circles are tied together. He had to go off on his own and just rebuild his circle. And I saw it literally get built over a period of 6 months. I saw all the people that came, go, all the different people, and it's pretty cool. But I think deep down, I know that that's not what I want. Like, I want a group of amazing, special people, and that's going to take 10 to 20 years to form. Lesson 264. Rather than looking for a person where I can be 100% unfiltered, someone I can talk to every single day, every single hour. I need to grow to a point where I don't need this. And I can achieve that feeling of love, that feeling of someone being there for me on my own. And I think when I get to that stage, that's when my soulmate's going to come into my life. Because you watch movies, you see other relationships, and you think that a good relationship is someone that you can just chat with forever and ever, every single day. But I think that's where you might become codependent. So I need to learn to achieve that type of love on my own without an extra person. Lesson 265. I realized that a lot of my close friends actually want something completely different to me. Most people want things that are completely different to what I want. And I should start embracing this rather than questioning why these people aren't wanting the things that I want. Yeah, like I want to have a partner, a soulmate that is special. And when I see my friends, special friends, like my cool friends, these are dear friends of mine, sort of get into relationships with people that are just like girlfriends that are normal, not that special. I'm a bit like, man, you can do better. And I'm sort of questioning it. But I need to realize and understand, like, hey, most people don't want what I want. And I should embrace the fact that I'm so picky with who I want in my life. And I should embrace that and be proud of that versus trying to question or understand why everyone else doesn't have the same mindset. Lesson 266. I was doing a lot of visualization over the last 2, 3 weeks. And I thought that visualizing the person I want to become with all the things I want to have was enough. And I stopped listening to my motivational mixtape. And I do feel like when I stopped, I did become less happy. I was more confused. So I think, and then I started playing the motivational mixtape in the background, and I started sort of swinging back. Like I feel much, much more better. I feel like it's an amazing subconscious reprogramming of my brain. It's reminding me of all the key things I'm going through, all the key lessons I need to remind myself of and sort of ingrain into my brain. So I want to continue listening and playing it in the background. Lesson 267. Lesson 267. If it took you 6 months to find something, is it really valuable? If it took you 6 months to find your next girlfriend, is that is she someone special that you want to be with? Because 6 months is a very, very short time. Yeah, I don't have too many thoughts, but I think, yeah, if it took you 6 months to find something, is it truly valuable? Lesson 268. I realized that there was an irony in all these anime and TV shows where there's always this group of friends How I Met Your Mother, sort of the group of five, six that hang out at the bar, or the TV show Friends, or if you watch One Piece or Naruto, the group, the crew, the team, um, and they're sort of always sort of emphasizing the importance of friendship, namaka. I think that's what it's called in Japanese. But the ironic thing is that all the writers of these amazing stories are these sort of solo independent soldiers themselves. They don't have this sort of solid group of friends that they chat with every day. They're workaholics. Like the moment I realized the irony, I realized how fake these stories are. Like One Piece is the main character Luffy surrounded by his nine other crew members, and it's all about sort of friendship and sort of having your friends and sort of doing things together and having that amazing group of friends. But the writer, Oda, I'm pretty sure he's a lone wolf. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a group of 10 friends that he chats with every day. I'm pretty sure he's working all the time. I'm pretty sure he's like a independent lone soldier. How ironic is that? And when I understood that, it gave me a lot of reassurance. It was like, huh, one, what I'm watching isn't real, but two, the source of these amazing TV shows and animes come from a person that is similar to me. And I felt less lonely thinking about that. I felt like, huh, okay, maybe what I'm going through is normal. It's normal to the fact that the person who writes these TV shows, animes about friendships are also independent lone wolves. That's lesson 268. We'll wrap it up for this week and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.